shall tell. But at present I have inferred that your response in essence was affirmative. Thus may our newly formed arrangement prove most interesting. Accept my mark and go, and later I shall open the abyss for you again. Whatever shall transpire, I shall be curious to see. You have a proposition to continue to uphold, O spawn of Hades. Let us continue our experiment if you would make your choice. My mark shall be of benefit once the initial discomfort subsides. The spawn of Hades has returned and has a choice to make. What is life, if not a series of unexpected complications? How shall I reshape your existence this time, spawn of Hades? The results of our experiment are not entirely conclusive as of yet. This world is born of impulse, not of carefully considered plans. I have no patience for discussion, spawn of Hades, so you need but choose. Collect your thoughts whilst you are here, but do not stay for long. I am amused to find myself again swept up in the affairs of gods. You may take comfort in the darkness and the silence here. There are no decisions that are not life-changing, spawn of Hades. Reality is what we make of it, O spawn of Hades, or I at least. For your convenience, I have reduced infinite possibilities to 3. The fates have their whims as we have ours. Is that not so? I trust our arrangement continues to be of interest, spawn of Hades? Do as you shall with my mark. My eyes shall be watching. So many different possibilities to be explored, in no particular order. Do you believe the fates planned for this outcome, or did I? I must admit life has become a rather complicated thing. Allow me to make your coming venture more interesting from the very start. Perhaps the fates themselves expected we would meet this soon. When I created life, I had my doubts. Would it invite more problems than it solved? I would be curious to see. Thus my experiment continues to unfold, its outcome yet uncertain. Spawn of Hades, I ought to clarify I do not care for idle talk. Ask me no questions. Respond only when prompted, or when necessary in the absolute. But above all, do as you will. I once created a similar arrangement with a different spawn of Hades. He was an interesting subject. The interval since last we met grows ever longer now. Do you know his status? Respond. I see. Time appears to be the source of many problems recently. As for your brother, I found him to be quite amusing. How interesting that offspring can be so dissimilar. When you return to Shadow, I briefly sense your presence in the infinite abyss. So I have seen that the servant of the 3 fates found you in that hidden place. He relayed to you a secret, did he not? Respond. I see. As you may know, I am uninterested in the fates having undue influence. Perhaps you may find a catalyst here for this incantation, whether they like it or not. Recently I found myself unable to detect you much at all, and deduced that you must have completed your Forbidden Incantation. Thus the surface is laid bare to you. Perhaps I shall ask you to describe it to me sometime. Your ability to reach beyond the boundaries that the fates placed upon you proved inspiring to me. After some consideration, I discovered how to call upon you even from the surface of this world. I find it rather interesting there. The Olympians send you their blessings and their messages, having some limited awareness of your circumstances and your whereabouts. So shall it be with me whilst you are here. Some who sought to answer my call turned out to lack the fortitude for the descent. Thus I never call on mortals anymore, and seldom anyone, for titans and gods can be duplicitous, I know. I ask that you do not betray my trust. Responsibility is partly mine for all that has transpired. I attempted to create this world with a degree of care. I nurtured it, adhered to certain principles as might a mother and father, for I created them too. But this world is no longer young. It persists now by its own whim. To make the most of our arrangement, I bid you activate a certain artifact where you reside. Within the pitch-black facets of this standing stone are possibilities to be explored. I shall reveal how to see them all, but first, I sense that you have not yet activated the pitch-black standing stone as I requested earlier. You may take as long as you wish to do so. Our experiment proceeds nevertheless. You have restored the standing stone where you reside, and now can see the possibilities within. Should you assist me in exploring my ability to determine outcomes like the fates themselves, I shall make it worth your while. I anticipated speaking to you thus as you explore the possibilities within the standing stone. Perhaps you see them as a series of important missions to complete, but they are merely part of our experiment. Time, of course, did not always exist. Kronos provided a means of measuring the rate at which everything grew and changed or did not. He was quite useful by his very nature. But time can be a source of problems too, I know. I believe that I am an impartial being, spawn of Hades. However, even I can be provoked, as Kronos soon shall come to realize. Our experiment concerns his fate. If he believes that he can change his fate, then so may we. I shall hold Kronos to account for what has come to pass, but I am not without blame myself, for I fear that I made present matters worse. You shall see whether any such mistakes can be corrected. The fate's designs for us perhaps are intertwined, for we each seek our close kin. I have lost contact with my spawn and daughter Nyx, who resided in your father's house. Her influence remains, yet I feel her absence. Once there was darkness all throughout the underworld, but now, Kronos works to reshape the realm to suit his preferences. However, there shall always be darkness here in this space, and I have made it visible to you. Then I shall grant you this wish and the freedom to bestow upon me further gifts as you see fit, for I have familiarity with this custom of yours, and am prepared to reciprocate. This nectar that you offer me is quite an interesting substance. When I created the fabric of reality, I had a sense of the ways in which it could be used, but I did not necessarily anticipate all possible results, including this one. Such gestures are unnecessary to the arrangement between us. If this is an act of supplication, then simply speak your mind, although I sense no deeper motive presently. The Olympians often demand tribute from their worshippers, do they not? Their custom, perhaps, but not mine. I merely ask that you honor our arrangement in perpetuity, though neither shall I reject your offering. You bear the embryo I gave to you. It creates an impression as though a part of me is with you, even whilst you are absent from this space. You may continue to make use of it, or not. You have suffered in your journey to reach me. Perhaps I should reward your struggle, or hasten your likely failure. You shall have to decide. I created life, which later gave rise to death, so I can sense how close you are now to the latter state. Even if your godhood means that you can never truly die, it must be quite unpleasant. Your present ailments are not beyond my notice. Perhaps it was unwise of you to visit me within this space whilst you are in such a state, though I have also made mistakes before. I understand that physical injuries such as the ones you have sustained mean little to you gods, though even gods are able to withstand only so much. Thus, caution is advised. As you commence your evening's pursuit, you may be best prepared to receive my mark and overcome its undesirable effects. Subsequently, you shall have more opportunity to test the limits of the possibilities that it creates. You need not venture far to find me, spawn of Hades, for I am everywhere, particularly where the darkness coalesces into seeming nothingness. Perhaps we shall see each other again when you are closer to your goal. Come, spawn of Hades. The path to me is open. Return to me again. Come join me if you wish. I offer you a different path. You are summoned. My gateway is opened. Come enter the abyss. You have returned. You are here. You have arrived. I anticipated your return. I see you once again. It is you. Greetings to you. Welcome. Come forth. We meet again. You found your way. A guest in my domain. My mark is yours. Thus I have left my mark. Then it is yours. An interesting choice. You may experience a mild discomfort. I had expected you to thusly choose. So shall it be. It is decided then. Your choice is made. This I shall be curious to see. This shall affect your chances to succeed. I see no reason to refute. Do as you shall. If that is your wish. A tolerable risk. I understand and accept. It is already done. All part of our arrangement. Olympus cannot hear you, spawn of Hades, but I can, and I have for you a proposition. Assist with a quandary of mine, and benefit. Your response? The weavings of the fates are said to bind both mortals and immortals alike. The course and outcome of all lives all preordained. Thus the sense of choice is merely an illusion. Do you believe this, spawn of Hades? Respond. I see. For the most part, I concur with your assessment. I am the reason Kronos has them now. He asked me where to find them, and I decided to tell him. To verify such choices could be made without their influence. Now do you understand my quandary? Respond. Yet they are not so powerful as they appeared. Nevertheless, I think you are correct. Kronos indicated his intentions were benign. I am unfamiliar with deceit, and was misled. I remain quite displeased about this still. In retrospect, I ought not have permitted Kronos to speak with me, but he was persuasive. I still do not fully understand how you communicate. What you say is not always what you mean, and your intentions may be carefully veiled, so I pay closer notice now. There was a certain rumbling I felt within the depths. You reached your destination, did you not? Confronted Kronos and prevailed, and yet his influence remains. But perhaps the Titan shall relinquish control with further persuasion. Return now whence you came. You now are changed accordingly. This shall be interesting. I have made some adjustments to reality. Minor changes may have profound effects. Some alterations to the fabric of reality. Is all this in accordance with the fate's design? Of infinite possibilities, this was your choice. From my infinite depths rises an opportunity. I do appreciate your willingness. So many minor details to adjust. Another possibility to be explored. Let us explore this facet of reality again. Here there is even more to be observed. Repetition is the key to certainty. Infinite possibility even in a single facet. A familiar choice, but perhaps a different result. You choose a path familiar to you. I have observed all that I wish for now. This facet of reality is clearer to me now. Thus you have proven that this possibility exists. All this was a mere possibility before. I am grateful, though that shall be all for now. This particular experiment was a success. A mere thought turned into a real possibility. The bounds of what is possible continue to expand. This was a chance I trust was well worth taking. I was sufficiently amused by your attempt. Although you failed this attempt, I was amused. I understand reality can be quite difficult to bear. Not every possibility is realized. Its outcome was but one of many possibilities. I did not observe as much as I would have liked. An inconclusive result in our experiment. Expected outcomes can be disappointing nonetheless. I do believe the possibility exists that you succeed. This type of failure was a highly probable result. Small variances in your actions led to this. Be careful, spawn of Hades. This was avoidable. A momentary lapse. Be mindful of my mark. Remember my mark. You did agree to this. Was that worthwhile? A questionable choice. Ill-advised. Do not forget my mark. It seems my mark has had an undesirable effect. This is all part of our experiment. I take it this was not the outcome you desired. Thus my mark is washed away for now. Life is ever capable of folly, is it not? Now, behold, observe, hear, power, evolution, and to you, go on. A desirable outcome. No light reaches me here. Substances such as this nectar, is it not interesting how they can be made, but not unmade? Everything in essence is itself. Thus your offering to me is truly unique in its own right, and I thank you for it. I still possess some of the nectar that your brother once gave to me when he was dealing with a certain quandary of his. I think that I shall keep this offering close by to that. You follow in his path, yet seem to choose your own way. You bear the blessing of the king of the Olympians himself. I expected that he would have been too preoccupied to be of direct assistance, although he does have a vested interest in your victory. You know the one called Queen Hera of Olympus. She has a certain power over creation herself. Mortals worship her, begging her favor as they bond and bring their offspring into being. She must enjoy the attention. You have been visited by Lord Poseidon. The waters that he claims are his. They were among the first of my creations, and turned out rather well, I think. I wonder if he comprehends the extent of the power they conceal. The golden son of Zeus has given you his blessing, I see. Apollo was not always so willing to involve himself in your family's struggles. Perhaps the present matter gives him little choice. Even the goddess Hestia has lent you her power. She typically has been content merely to stoke the little flames warming the hearths of mortal homes. But now those flames threaten to spread beyond even her control. The blessing of Hephaestus is upon you. The god of the forge fashions arms and armor fit for war, whilst I created the very things he uses for his trade. No one's work is solely their own, spawn of Hades. Does there remain a place for beauty and for objects of desire in a world such as this? The goddess Aphrodite must think so, and you work now as allies. I believe it a worthwhile cause. This world was born of a certain desire, after all. The goddess Demeter is set for war, and lends to you her wrathful strength. The mother of your mother has experience fighting titans, her predecessors. You all have grown so numerous that very little common ground remains. I am aware the goddess of the hunt has lately plied her trade at the boundaries between realms. Artemis was not always so bold, but it is little wonder she was drawn deeper into shadow. You seem to know each other well. We have eternity to conduct our experiment. I am unconvinced as to whether the results shall come more quickly with the haste of Hermes benefiting you. That is another facet to explore. Selene rides across the sky, yet her attentions she directs towards you. Perhaps she is wondering, what is the moon without night? Yet I suspect that she is capable in Nyx's absence. An interesting specimen. Specimen procured. You found a specimen. You have procured something. That was amusing to behold. A show of certain skill. Your efforts were in vain. An acceptable loss. Perhaps the fates desired this. An unsuccessful attempt. You may have it. It is yours. A small gift. That is for you. Please enjoy. Do as you will. If Kronos holds the goddess Nyx as captive in your father's house, along with other members of her family and yours, then I would like for that to change. Perhaps he shall release them if you use sufficient violence. Recently a daughter of Nyx entered my domain. Such is her likeness that I mistook her for her mother goddess at first, for many beings appear similar to me. I shall permit her here. That daughter of Nyx resembling her mother goddess is assisting with my quandary, much like you. She is dutiful, but some offspring are not. Perhaps I should have ensured all obeyed, but that would not be quite as interesting. The Olympians often speak of family, but I do not entirely understand what they mean. All beings have a common origin, yet are not considered family. Kronos, for example, is he family or not? I shall not ask you to respond. One of the offspring of the goddess Nyx, the one called Strife. I find it interesting Nyx spawned one such as her, but then we all make mistakes. I acknowledge all that I have wrought can be seen as disorderly as well. Perhaps I ought to start over again. That is what I think when I observe all that has transpired on the surface of this world. Eventually I expect I shall, though for now, I permit my offspring to continue to multiply and interact as they will. I understand entering gateways to my domain is not a pleasant sensation, and my mark by its nature yields mixed results. Thus I ask myself why you often venture here. Perhaps you merely wish to look upon me thus. A spark of Ixion brought you to me, an ember from the flame forever burning in the underworld. Its light reveals gateways into my abyss, and relieves the common side effects of entering. I recommend continued use of it. I cannot know what it is like to meet one's creator, but you may, and perhaps have. Your father is no longer in his residence, where I sense much has changed. Yet he is not far from there. Perhaps I shall assist you in locating him. What are the essential differences between titans and gods? I cannot easily distinguish the two. Yet those differences must be significant if they provoked a self-perpetuating war. You come from a domain not of the surface nor the underworld, but between. The caretaker of that domain I have seen occasionally for some time, and serves the goddess Nyx. You are reminiscent of her to me. Your usage of the pitch-black standing stone enables me to temporarily emerge from my abyss, and I thank you for that. I can observe more clearly both the outcome of your trial and all else. Perhaps I should not actively participate within the trials of my own design, for I unduly influence the outcome. But I believe this way it shall be much more interesting for us both. The trials I devised all begin precisely as planned, but from that point, not even I can influence the outcomes entirely. For instance, I did not expect to find you here, spawn of Hades. I sensed the growing influence of the goddess Nyx, as though my daughter plunged the world into deeper darkness recently. Yet it was not she who did this. I believe it was you. There was a recent moment when time briefly ceased to be, and I alone could tell. I believe this coincided with your confrontation with Kronos. Now you return to me, attempting to repeat the same outcome. Interesting. You recently entered your father's residence within the underworld's depths, but did not remain there. Did you at least discover what you sought? Do not respond. I am considering all the potential truths. You have been exploring the surface of this world, where my influence is comparatively limited. I was amused to consider the possibilities, though I did anticipate you would return. The act of creation is not always pristine. The residue of it you know as stardust, which retains some power over consciousness. Consider it an incentive to look upon the standing stone and undertake the trials you see there. I recognize the artifacts you bear. Their brother weapons of infernal origin drink deep the blood of titans and grow strong, whilst these, fate-forged servants of the underworld, that thrive on pure nightmare itself. Our trial thus begins, O spawn of Hades. All that you see is my domain, and I am everywhere. You have arrived here rather quickly, spawn of Hades. Let us begin our current trial from this point. Commence this trial from this point, beginning now. I have an interest in evaluating this domain. You may proceed immediately, spawn of Hades. You lack the power you accumulated, but not the knowledge. I can take away your strength, but not your experience. This trial shall attempt to break you, spawn of Hades. It is possible that this trial is impossible, spawn of Hades. I do not think you shall complete this trial, though please try. The fates themselves determine the details of this trial. I cede control of the details of this trial to the fates. In choosing this trial, all other choices shall be made for you. You are the variable in this trial, spawn of Hades. Repetition sometimes is required for success. A trial may require multiple attempts. I have effected this night much like you experienced before. I am curious to see if you shall fail this trial once again. Repeated failure is acceptable to me, for it is amusing. Shall this trial prove too much for you again? Your prior failure in this trial was quite interesting to observe. Perhaps you have a better sense of what to expect this time. I appreciate your willingness to reattempt this trial. This trial has been difficult, and yet you reattempt. I think this trial may be far too difficult for you. Try all you like. Your repeat attempts are interesting. This is a trial that you know, yet the outcome may change. I shall be interested to see what you do differently this time. We have been through this before, and shall do it again. Perhaps you should cease attempting this trial for now. Perhaps if your weapon was stronger, or perhaps not. I have eternity for these attempts, do you? Only continue with this trial if that is your wish. After such a simple trial, surely you would attempt another. May my stardust compensate you for your services. This trial is complete. I bid you return whence you came. I have observed the outcome of this trial with keen interest. You may go no further. That is all part of the trial. I am satisfied with the results of this trial, and bid you return. You have accomplished what this trial asked of you. I did not necessarily expect that you would pass this trial. Another trial successfully completed, spawn of Hades. You passed, but now return to Shadow, spawn of Hades. Vengeance is an impulse I would better understand. Do the fates determine determine what transpires, or do you? We have a strong connection to the moon. Show it to me. Gold flows freely throughout my domain. Claim it. Let us see the so-called Earthshaker live up to his title. I have no wish to see the god of light, only his strength. The cold brought on by the goddess of seasons I know well. The goddess of love is well accustomed to being observed. The goddess of the hearth and the potential of her flames. This is a trial of destruction, so please see what you can do. This is a trial of haste, so please do not hesitate. This is a trial of strength, so please use it with care. I believe your magic shall be of little use in this trial. You have completed a number of the trials I have put before you, Spawn of Hades. I would offer you my gratitude, except I thought my stardust would be of more use. Spawn of Hades. Spawn of Hades.